Drew, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to talk WWE and we're going to talk a bit of Premier League as well. Now, of course, we have to get it out there first of all. You are a Glasgow Rangers fan, primarily, number one. We know that. But we want to ask you about any Premier League affiliations. Are you going to go with a Premier League club that you like to follow?
Well, I guess if I have to pick somebody, as you mentioned, I'm obsessed with Glasgow Rangers, always have been. It divides my family since one side is Rangers, the other side is Celtic. But also my brother, which is very bizarre, is a Manchester City fan. I never understood where that came from. It was before the money as well. So yeah, I tend to favor Manchester United because of that, because it drove him crazy when we were kids. But also, one of my good friends was a big United fan, so I guess that would be my preferred Premier League team, which is not easy to like them these days. Really not easy to like them these days.
I also like the fact that you have to quantify with your brother that he was there before the money. I think Manchester City fans are divided into before and after, aren't they?
Yes, I remember he liked them when we got the sticker albums, like the old Premier League sticker albums, and it was Nicky Summerby. I kept getting like 10 or 12 of them in a row, and that's the time where he supported them. And I kept saying to him, "You can have my Summerbys." I keep getting so many of them, but that's how long he supported City.
Okay, that's definitely pre-money. Now, last season, you tweeted out a picture with a number of the WWE superstars, all in different Premier League shirts. So, do you guys talk about the Premier League? Do you have banter between all of the superstars?
So it's myself, Sheamus, and Ridge, a new superstar from England who's just popped up on TV. We all travel together also. So that's pretty much the football car, the soccer car. And we're always talking about it. And I'm always excited for Liverpool to slip up so I can get on Sheamus since he's a big Liverpool fan.
Well, we remember, of course, the LA Fan Fest when you and Sheamus were there, which were, I mean, it was it was brilliant, the winding up that was going on. How much did you enjoy being in amongst the fans in LA with us?
I loved the atmosphere. The fans were incredible. And to see so many different teams, fans intermingling together, having such a good time and not breaking into a fight. I did remark to Sheamus, if this was back home, they'd have been fighting by now. So it was nice to see everybody having such a good time together.
With beer as well.
That was the other thing. I just drinking at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. Everyone's really friendly here. And then I had the stupid idea, and we're backstage. We're going to do the bit with y'all coming on stage. And they'd mentioned putting on a Manchester United shirt, and I told Sheamus, we should really do a bit of entertainment like WWE. Why don't you come out, offer me a Liverpool shirt, I'll throw it to the ground.
You got to put it on, Drew. You got to put it on. Ooh. Drew, would you like to put it on?
I'll have to look at it.
That's a peace offering right there. Peace offering right there, mate.
And I'll raise up the Man United shirt and I'll put it on.
Man United are under pressure. They seem to pull it off, so I think Big D here is going to go for Manchester United.
And that was my stupid idea because I went ahead, we did the bit, we had a bit of a laugh, and then Liverpool beat Man U 5-0. So Sheamus got the last laugh.
Oh, and did he? Did he enjoy
Oh, he
that?
did. Yeah, I left, went and got my flight early, and then he just ripped me to shreds. I kept checking my phone, getting tagged every 2 seconds. Y'all just laughing at me.
Well, we had so much fun with you guys. Now, of course, you're on the road a lot, and you said you've got the Premier League car with Sheamus and with Ridge. Do you manage to have any kind of Premier League morning routine? Because fans across the United States have all their routines, what they eat, what time they get up, where they sit on their sofa, who they watch with. Do you guys have any kind of Premier League morning routine?
I mean, Sheamus might have a more specific routine. My routine involves, because we're on the road every single weekend, we tape television on Fridays, Friday Night SmackDown. After the show, we travel to the next town. We have 2 non-televised shows, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. So after TV, it's a very long day, very stressful day, live TV. We get to the next town, we get to bed around whatever, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And then I set my alarm knowing Sheamus will have the game ready to go the next day. So I get up about 5 minutes before whatever game's playing. I'll meander to his room, bang on the door, and he'll have it ready to go. And then I'll just fall down on the sofa and watch it with him. So he's Papa Sheamus. He's about 25 years older than me, so he's in charge of everything.
So talk to me a bit about that rivalry then, because for the fans out there, you and Sheamus, describe the rivalry between you.
It's big brother, little brother. We met when I was 19. I always like to rib him. He is older than me. I always like to say I was 19. He was 47. He's 7 years older than me, but he was a full-grown man when we first met, and we've always looked out for each other, coming to America together, coming through the ranks together. Our football fanship and giving each other, ribbons left and right. But at the same time, as good of friends as we are, as everyone knows out there, especially from the UK, the closer you are, the more crap you give each other. And we're constantly on each other. I'll be on interviews like right now, stressing he doesn't like Celtic. No matter how many times he goes on there and goes, oh, yeah, I'm a big Celtic fan. He just says that because he's supposed to say that. He really supports Liverpool. He doesn't care about Celtic. So that drives me the craziest. I want to get out there first. And also with the Liverpool, the big gap between Manchester City and Liverpool, I was giving him hell for that. And my brother was giving him hell. Then they made the dramatic comeback. Now they're 1 point behind. So I really got to watch what I'm saying because it's coming down to the wire now. And he might just pull it off at the end.
They might well, as you say, it is definitely coming down to the wire, which for us neutrals is absolutely brilliant. You mentioned the fans in LA and how brilliant it was to see all the different fans representing all the different clubs, Drew. Compare WWE fans and Premier League fans. Similarities, differences?
Yeah, very similar, especially the fans back home. That's how I explain, WWE fans to, I guess, basically everybody that doesn't really follow WWE yet until they check it out for the first time and they're hooked for life. I've been to every sport in America now. I've been to baseball games, American football games, basketball games. And it's so bizarre to look around and just see everybody kind of sitting there going, oh, yes, that was an excellent play. Or if one person stands up and starts shouting and getting into the game, everyone looks at them and judges them. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like if you're back home at a football match, if you're not on your feet going crazy, like getting into the show, everyone looks at you and goes, what's the matter with you? And it's the same with the WWE fans. They're so energetic, they're so passionate, they're so committed to the product and their particular superstar. Like the football fans are committed to their team and everybody's on their feet the whole time. They've got their chants, they've got their energy, they've got their passion. They are very similar with their fan bases.
Speaking of fans, now let's talk wrestling, because the wrestling world is in store, Drew, for what is being billed as the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, a winner-takes-all championship unification match. WrestleMania 38, the two-night event, is going to air live on Peacock tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's from the AT&T Stadium in Dallas. So this is the big question. What do we expect from this year's WrestleMania?
Ooh, this year's WrestleMania is a WrestleMania stupendous weekend you're not going to forget. And as happy as I am, no pun intended, about my particular match, I'm wrestling a guy called Happy Corbin, kick his head off. And this match with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar is the biggest feasible match we have in the company right now. They're our top two superstars. Both titles are on the line. We have two major championships in the men's division. They're both up for grabs in this match. Whoever wins is going to be able to say they're number one, they're top of the company, got the bragging rights. I've defeated Brock Lesnar in the past. Roman Reigns has been my kryptonite. I've never managed to defeat him yet. And I'll be watching who wins this match, because whoever gets their hand raised, old Drew McIntyre's gunning for them.
I love it. But you do have Happy Corbin that you just mentioned there that you're going to kick the head off of. I assume then, full of confidence, no problem at all, Happy Corbin on your bike.
Yeah, I'm just struggling with the big question of, do I beat him really quick and embarrass him? Or do I drag it out for like an hour and 27 minutes of just uncomfortable beating? Like that's what I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. He did try to take me out at the start of the year, tried to break my neck, cost me 6 weeks of TV time. So he's got it coming. I could have taken him out any week. I've just been messing with him on SmackDown every week. I could literally drop him like that. But I want the biggest stage, the most eyes possible, the most stupendous WrestleMania, as we say, of all time. So I'm very excited about hurting him badly.
Right. I want your view, please, Drew, on your favorite moment in the history of WrestleMania. So what will you consider to be the greatest match up until this point?
Ever. There's a lot of WrestleManias. I've been watching it my whole life.
What springs to mind immediately?
What springs to mind immediately is when I beat Brock Lesnar in 5 minutes and won the WWE title. But I'm trying not to pick myself. So let's pick one that's not me beating Brock in 5 minutes. I've got to mention that. The best match of all time of any wrestling company was at WrestleMania. It was between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
What year would that be, Drew? Because I remember The Undertaker. What year?
About 2008, 2009 is when that match took place. It was the best match of all time, from beginning to end. Just the two superstars involved, like everyone knows The Undertaker, they know Shawn Michaels, they were at the peak of their career. They had all that equity and years of relationship built with the fans. The storyline going into it was incredible. And in-ring wise, they were at the peak of their career. So everything just came together at the perfect moment. And it was unbelievable from start to finish. I was still number one though, but that was a close two. Shawn
Yeah,
Taker.
so that's two. That's two to you. Okay. That's fair. Okay, so other big names. We know that Stone Cold Steve Austin and Ronda Rousey are going to be there at WrestleMania. Do you know about any other special guests or anything you can tease us with? Anything else to look forward to? Big faces, names?
Yeah, there's always surprises at WrestleMania that will not be announced. I can tell you, Logan Paul, the most annoying person on earth, is participating in a match. He's wrestling in a tag team match with, he's tagging with The Miz against Rey Mysterio and his son. So that's going to be interesting. And it's awesome because people genuinely pay money to see him get his butt kicked, and he keeps winning. He keeps talking his trash. So we have the most hated man in the world on the show. That's cool. But we also have Johnny Knoxville from Jackass wrestling in a match on the show. And it's going to surprise people, I think. I've spent some time with Knoxville. I've got to know him. He's a great guy. And what I've realized, aside he has such a passion for the product, he wants to do well every time he goes out there, is he's really like that in real life. That's not an act. Like, I thought that was just a bit for Jackass. Outside, I've seen him do stunts when it's just him and I. I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? I'm like, oh, that's just you. So I'm sure he's going to do something wild on the big stage of WrestleMania. Like I say, the surprises will be coming left and right. They don't tell me half the things that are going on, so I get to watch the show like a fan. I have my match. I beat up Corbin, easy peasy. I sit down and enjoy the show like everybody else.
Lovely stuff. Well, just a reminder for everybody watching that WrestleMania 38 airs live from the AT&T Stadium in Dallas tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Peacock. Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, big Glasgow Rangers fan, little Manchester United fan, big Premier League fan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series, and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches, and much more.